Hello, everyone. I am Dr. V. Mohan, Chairman of Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialty Center, and I would like to give you some very important information about COVID-19 and diabetes. In particular, I'd like to give you 3 important nutrition tips that you should follow if you have diabetes. We all know that both during the first phase as well as during the second wave of the COVID-19, it is people with comorbidities in general and with diabetes in particular who did not do well. Hospitalizations were more, and the morbidity and mortality was also more in those who had diabetes. I would hasten to add that it is those with uncontrolled diabetes who did not look after themselves who did badly. And there are thousands of my patients who got COVID and yet did very well despite having diabetes because they kept their diabetes under good control. Nutrition or diet plays a very important point at this time, and therefore I would like to teach you 3 nutrition tips. The first is to increase your protein intake. Indians generally take very little protein. When you increase your protein intake, either by adding vegetable protein, or for those who are non-vegetarian, adding non-vegetarian protein, or we have excellent protein supplements now. If you increase your protein intake, 2 things happen. One is that the carbohydrate amount will come down, and therefore it will help you to control your diabetes well. More importantly, it builds up your immunity because your muscles and all your cells need protein, amino acids, and therefore this can be provided by increasing your protein intake. Tip number 2, increase your fiber content. Most of the foods that we take in the modern day, the fast foods and so on, are depleted in fiber. What does fiber do? Fiber acts like a trap, and it traps the glucose or the starch and doesn't allow it to shoot up. If you don't have enough fiber in your food, after your meal, your blood glucose levels will go up. And these are very harmful. We know that even for the heart, it is not very good. Fiber can be increased by adding a lot of vegetables, fruit, and there are also the whole grain that you can take. Plus, there are many supplements which contain a lot of protein and fiber. So if you take one of these supplements, you can automatically get more fiber. And therefore, please increase the fiber content of your food. The third tip is to cut down on your portion size. Obviously, the more you eat, if you eat a huge meal, your glucose levels tend to spike and to go up very much. If you take small, frequent feeds, your sugar levels will not go up like that, but you will get small humps like that. And that is much more manageable. And you can bring down your blood glucose levels, both fasting and postprandial, and also thereby bring down your HbA1c levels. On top of all this, you must also take your medicines regularly, do your own self-glucose monitoring using your glucose meter, and most importantly, keep in touch with your diabetologist or your diabetes center by sharing your blood glucose and other results with them so that they will be able to guide you and safely take you through this third wave of the COVID-19 and the threat of the Omicron. You'll all remember that during the second phase, India had the horrible disease called as mucormycosis, which affected the nose and the eyes and so on. This almost exclusively happened in people with uncontrolled diabetes. And virtually none of my patients had this mucormycosis problem because they all kept their glucose levels and their diabetes under good control. So follow these 3 nutrition tips. Do your regular exercise, wear a mask if you're going out. Most importantly, consult your doctor and do all the right things. And I'm sure you'll be able to handle this third wave of the COVID-19, just like we handled the first wave and the second wave. My very best wishes to you.